Welcome to another edition of the Texans on 3 podcast show. Episode 136. This is the tight end special, man. Right now, the co-host right here, PAT, Patting the Streets, aka Future Texans draft scout, underpaid draft scout, not getting paid draft scout, the Patting, but it's neither here nor there. But no further ado, man, this has been my brother Bull, man. Always face kill on the loose. The one and only man, Killer Cal, man. What's going on, good brother?
Hey, what's happening, man? Everything is good in the neighborhood, bro.
Oh yeah, Mr. Rogers, that way. Yes indeed, man. Today Wednesday, man. Seems like time just be flying by, man.
Yeah, how many more days before the draft? We got a whole another month or so, or what?
I want to say either 50 or 49 days.
Okay.
50 or 49 days, man. I always like to ask people, man, what would you rather come first, the draft or free agency?
That's a good question. Never thought about that. What made that cross your mind then?
Well, if you had to draft right away, that would impact free agency. Because as it is now, free agency is first. So a lot of times free agency impacts the draft. Like if you got a team, let's use what's going on right now. The Raiders are to have the first overall pick. 9 times out of 10, they're going with Fernando Mendoza, right?
Right.
Let's say that's a team. Let's say they signed Kyler Murray, who's probably the most attractive free agent quarterback on the market. If their team already had him, 9 times out of 10, they probably wouldn't draft Fernando to a degree.
So you're saying if free agency came, wait a minute.
If the draft came first, right?
So if the draft came first, they don't have Kyler Murray, so they would be giving Fernando.
Right. So that puts a player like Kyler Murray in limbo. Like, where could I go? There aren't really too many teams that are quarterback needy. The one that comes to my mind that could use a quarterback, or honestly, any quarterback would be Minnesota with Kevin O'Connell. It seems like quarterbacks go over there, get fixed, and they out into the real world again. They don't keep nobody. That's also a guy I wanted to be our coach, man, but it's neither here nor there. We got the right guy. Oh yeah. So let's get to these comments real quick before we get into the thing. Salute Space Age, man. Brandon. What's up, Mom? Brandon, Space Age. Yeah, already cooking in here. Let's see. Brandon says he doesn't like the Chiefs having so many picks around us now. Well, dude, their quarterback is making $500 million. I never understand. Well, I don't understand. I get it. I just don't like it. But I would hate to be a Chiefs player because once you get your contract, they're gonna ship your ass off. Like that's the trend they've been doing. But of course, I've noticed, man, around the league. And I want some tacos, man. I want some tacos too, bro. I noticed around the league, man, this shit turning into the NBA. Everybody get traded. There's a lot of trades going on now. Like, shit,
it's really been that way for a long time. It's just that we've only been good for 3 years, and we've been with a regime that really didn't make trades. I mean, like Rick Smith and Bill O'Brien and the Sunday school teacher Easterby, they didn't make trades, man. The trades that they did make was, if you was Sunday school teacher and you got the ear of God, then I think Satan told you to make that trade because that was the dumbest trade ever. But anyway, Nick Casario have been very active. That's one of the things that I enjoy. What people don't like about Casario is the scale because of everything that he missed on the offensive line. He hit tremendously in that secondary, and he got two more guys in the caliber, of the Jalen's that really didn't see. Well, one of them didn't see any time, and the other one, he got hurt and hurt the same injury again. So I mean, right
They both
now you
old.
got people saying that secondary is uh have the is it's a great secondary now, but has the potential to be one of the greatest. So we can't like ignore the great things that he's done and then highlight the bad things that he done, and then you want to weigh his job on that situation. So it's one of those situations, man. I was thinking about before we came on, and the players that's in this draft, especially the ones that I like. I just think about, man, if Kenyon Green, Fisher, and Juice Scruggs, they all hit. I mean, they where they were drafted, they exceeded their expectations at drafting and being drafted at number one and two at number two. Just think about us going into this draft where we can just cherry pick, where Sadiq wouldn't be a fairy tale. If you came out of this draft with Sadiq Price and whoever else you want, like
Mhm.
this is the way it was supposed to be. It just didn't work out. So man, it's just one of those things, man. But yeah, I know I'm all over the place, but man, I'm excited to see what's going to happen again, man. Nick does some uncustomary things, and just got to see what's gonna go down, man.
The other day, I hosted a space on Twitter, man, and I gotta say, I don't do spaces that's often, but every time I do one on Twitter, man, I get that bitch jumping, man. Good people always show up, man. Uh, how sports talk in my mind should go. For those that are on Twitter or not on Twitter, man, y'all get on the create your account, man. Let me know when y'all do, and I will invite y'all to my next pull up, man. But saying that to say this, I mentioned oh, now my train of thought leaving me. Give me a second. Okay, got it. Nick, this offseason is pivotal not only for the franchise but for Nick Casario as a whole. One, this is his last year on his contract. It seems like when his back is against the wall, that's when he just pulls out all the stops, right? The last time his back was against the wall was year
2 years,
three.
yeah.
Year three. After Lovey got fired, right? That's when he hired D'Amico. That was balls to the wall hire. Now, some can say, oh, I seen that a mile away. Uh, what about this person? What about that person? Look, he got the right man for the job. You bring the guy home. And the great thing about D'Amico is he's a player's coach. Coach, what we call the D'Amico dust when it comes to these linebackers. He gets the best out of most linebackers, if not all of them, or at least he tries to. He elevates their game and the defense he's created for this team's organization. Um, the only downfall I would have with D'Amico is with most defensive head coaches, if they don't get a established offensive coordinator, as you can see with us, we're going to struggle on that side of the ball, which we have struggled on that side of the ball. I'm with you too, CJ Honda 92. CJ says made a big mistake with made a mistake with Bobby Sloyd. Um, yes and no. I mean, the thing about first time play callers, or actually think about being a play caller, period, at some point in time, you're going to be a first timer at any position or any situation you go into with a
Man,
job.
can you say that again, man? Like,
Hey, at any time, the greatest play callers, right? The greatest head coaches at some point was a first time head coach, first time play caller, first time assistant. The greatest head coach of all time, in my opinion, Bill Belichick. He started out at the fucking Cleveland Browns. For those that don't know, let that sink in. If you Google Bill Belichick right now, 7 Super Bowls, six Super Bowls. I want to say what 10 appearances, I believe. No, he had seven because I think he won one with the Giants.
Yeah, because you can't. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, but just his resume alone, you know what I'm saying? It's it's that.
And when he was with Cleveland, I think he took them to the playoffs. They pulled a plug on him very early.
Yeah, very early.
Yeah. But go back to your point was everybody is a first timer. So when people
At some
say,
point,
hey man, we should have hired him. He was a first time play caller. It's like, man, I remember, and I guess this is unfair because it was Kubiak. But I remember when Kubiak was with our organization, he was the quarterback coach. And that first year he became the offensive coordinator. Offense was looking very sharp. And I already knew that he was going to leave and go with his daddy up in Washington. And that's what happened. But, people say, well, hey, man, that's Shanahan. His dad was a coach. Okay, well, still, there's multiple other play callers and coaches that had to get their first opportunity. So that it is what it is.
it's very rare you walk into a job and with that job, it's on the job training, literally. But it's rarely you walk into a job at Excel, right? Uh, when Kubiak first got here, Gary, when he first got here, our first season we went 10-6. I mean, I'm sorry, 6-10.
Right.
He kept Carr because he thought he could fix Carr. Carr had a good year that year, but Carr was already shot. You go on, man, go on to the offseason. That offseason, you make a trade for what's my guy, Matt Shaw, and that he became the bootleg guard, tight end over the middle, Dre down the field. You know what I'm saying? That zone
Right.
read, and it went on and went on and went on. But it also hit his ceiling. But I don't believe he was wrong with Bobby Sloyd. Bobby didn't adjust. That was the biggest thing. There was no adjustment for Bobby. Like, and let's be real, halftime adjustments. You're not going into halftime. Hey, we're gonna change the whole playbook. Hey, what's working? What's not working? Let's lean on what's working. And I
Mm-hmm.
don't think that talk had happened enough with that situation. Now here we are again, year three, going into year four with Nick Caley. We got a glimpse of what it could be at times last year, but that offense has not hit its ceiling nowhere near to
Bro,
what
you
it could
say
be.
year 3, year 4 with Kegley.
Yeah. Well, as far as with D'Amico.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But technically year one, going into year two with Caley.
Right.
This is D'Amico's fourth year. So in his 4 years, he's had two offensive coordinators. Bobby Sloyd for 1 and 2, and Nick Caley in year three, going into year four.
Yeah.
So I'm saying it from a D'Amico, right? On his patriarchy.
Yeah.
Going into, well, I want to address this comment. You mean green slugs and fish? Brandon don't like green. I get you. Okay, Brandon. I'm gonna bring that to you. Then I'm gonna get to our next thing. Diggs, that surprised me. You know, that really surprised me. I don't know why they did him like that. I don't know why. Patriots, their organizations sometimes they make weird calls, but it always works in their favor. But with
I
Diggs,
mean, he was a hired gun. He was probably the best offensive wide receiver, the best wide receiver in free agent market. They made the numbers look overly inflated, but they had it drawn out where they can move on after 1 year. But he was going to be that veteran in the room for that young quarterback, and it almost worked. So It
Yeah,
wasn't a total success, but shit, it got him further than he
he's ever
ever
been.
been. Yeah. So
Yeah, but Brandon thinks the Patriots should the Patriots replace Diggs with Christian Kirk. So uh, I
I think
doubt.
it's other I think the Pierce from now I don't know if they're gonna be able to afford him because the Patriots spent a lot of money last year.
They
Spent
got a
over
lot of money.
100 million.
They still got a lot of money. They are.
Okay, well think of Alec Pierce from the Colts.
I see him going to Oakland, not Oakland. What are they? Vegas.
Vegas Raiders.
Yeah, I see him going to Vegas. Alec Pierce is looking for a payday. Now, is he worth the money he's probably going to command? I mean, he looked good against us at times. Well, every time he played us, he looked good. But
Look, the wide receiver room coming out of the draft is very deep. And to be honest with you, ever since the explosion of 7-on-7, the last, few years, decade, wide receivers been coming out like looking very freakishly. So uh a lot of times, man, if you can have a high paid wide receiver and you can move on. Like I'm look, man, as much as I don't want to put this in the universe and looking at our roster, one of my favorite player could be on the verge of not
no,
being here.
he's
And
not
I'm not
going.
gonna call his name.
He's not going nowhere, bro.
Yeah, I'm just saying, bro. Look, stranger things has happened. Like I
Indeed.
don't know why everybody think that we have the ability to pay. Like we see it cuts happen. Like right now today, we see it every year. And it's like, man, oh, they finna move on from him. They It happens every year, man. So I hope it don't happen. I mean, cut the whole wide receiver room and just keep him. That's my favorite player. But hey,
I feel you. I feel you. So we made a trade. Got a new running back to the group. Um, they call him Demo, my guy from Detroit, by the way, of Chicago.
they call him Knuckles too. Knuckles.
Yeah, Knuckles. Woody and Knuckles. I seen a post on Twitter where they had Woody and Buzz Lightyear meeting each other for the first time,
Mm,
saying that that's how it's gonna be. Montgomery, man, for what it's worth, we got him for a fourth round. I think a fourth round, seventh round, and Juice Scrubs. Juice
right.
Scrubs is going back closer to home for far as being playing up north. We're getting a guy that doesn't have a lot of tread on the tires.
Hmm.
He's 29 years old, has 2 years left on his deal. It's a team friendly deal. I want to say 6 million, I think five and six, or is it 6 and 9 for the next 2 years, which is not bad.
Right.
Um, once I caught wind of this potentially happening, I kind of had to position myself like, okay, if you get him, pair him with Woody, is that enough? And for me, the answer is no, it's not.
No, I mean,
It's
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 not
just
even
not.
close to being enough. No.
No, it's you still have to add somebody else. Brees Hall's not happening. Kenneth Walker, not happening. Who else is out there? Aaron Jones from Minnesota. He a little longer in the tooth, but not happening. You have to draft a rookie running back. And how look at Brandon. Yeah, Brandon reading my mind. Dude, Mike Washington makes all the sense in the world for this team. He makes all the sense in the world. Like last year, you had a true running back by committee, like true running back. Like, hell, I even got a couple of carries out the backfield. Y'all ain't seen me.
Hey man, I'm gonna cut you off right quick, man. Reading Brandon's statement and
Brandon
listening
going
to you, and listening to you talk. You know who Mike Washington is? He's Montgomery and Woody Marks put together.
yeah.
Think about it, bro.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, look, I mean, he has a bigger burst of speed than Montgomery, but I was, telling Doc Payton, uh, Mr. Graham Morier, I was like, yeah, I said he was a speed back. Of course, he's not a 4-3 guy, but
He ran
I
4-3.
just, no, Montgomery.
Oh, okay, okay. My bad.
But the highlights that I saw when Montgomery broke away, he was
He
breaking
has
away
that
from
burst.
BBs.
He has that
Yeah.
burst.
So when I say speed back, I'm not talking about Jamar Gibbs. I'm not talking about those type of speed backs. I'm talking about football speed when it's time to kick in that gear that's not clocked with a stopwatch, real time football, but you seeing safeties and cornerbacks cannot catch this guy. And then you see the power and the ferociousness that he runs with. And we had that in Joe Mixon. I think when you look at the experience, the age of Montgomery, it's almost like you're getting Joe Mixon back again.
Yeah.
So I think it was a good pickup. Look, that fourth and the seventh round pick, we have no idea who they are, but we do know who David Montgomery is. So anytime
Mhm.
you trade a player for a pick, you have to look at what
What you
can
getting?
right, because we don't know what that pick potentially can be. That pick can become an all pro or it can be a bust. I mean, we had the biggest argument about Will Anderson and all the picks. Well, we're not even talking about what Arizona have or what they got. Oh, we're not talking about that. We're talking about Will Anderson in potentially becoming the best player in football. Notice I didn't say defense. I said the best player in football. So sometimes you can't worry about the unknown. Just get the known. So that's how I look at Montgomery.
I agree. Um, when the trade first broke, when it was officially the news broke, I retweeted and I said Joe Mixon 2.0.
You did.
That's that's exactly what we're getting. Um,
Yeah.
to progress the conversation, man. As y'all see, this is the tight end special, man. A lot of people, um, everybody's gushing over Sadiq from Oregon, and rightfully so. Um, what's the point of talking about somebody that everybody else is talking about? So I got a guy, I got two guys, and I was only going to use one guy because one guy is my guy because he's from my school. And I was like, I ain't gonna just, I'm gonna talk about him anyway. But my first guy, I can't pronounce his last name. It's Tanner. How you say it? Kozier? Kozoyo? He had a funny last name, but the tight end from U of H. This guy's
Um, yeah. Kazor. Kazor.
Kazor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't pronounce his last name. Save my life with a gun to my head. But looking at him and Brandon Koziol. Brandon, I've been learning Spanish too. I've been teaching myself to learn Spanish. So, but anyways, looking at him, he's ranked the number 11 out of all the tight ends. The thing about him that I like the most is what he can do for us, right? When I look at players come draft time, I'm always looking at how do they fit with on my team and would they be a good fit and how could they be of use to us. Last offseason, we had a guy come in, I want to say from Rice. He didn't make the team, but he was like 6'7", I believe, 6'8". All
Yeah, I
tall.
think that was from Texas Tech. And I think he
Tech.
was like, he was like 6'8".
Yeah, I know he was a home. He's from here,
Yeah.
homeboy, but he didn't make the team. So you rarely see tight ends that size walk around. But this guy Tanner, I want to say Tanner was 6'4". No, I'm sorry, he's 6'7". Tanner's 6'7". I forget his weight, but he ran a 4.7 at the combine, which is not bad. But he is very, very productive. And what's the area we struggle with the most on offense when we get there? red zone. This guy is the perfect red zone threat, perfect red zone target. Had a lot of production every year that he was in college. I want to say he came from Ball State before was it Ball State where he led the team in receptions and yards. First time ever for a tight end to do such at that school. And the production carried over once he got to U of H. Very, very high volume guy, very, very high points to ball, get a lot of touchdowns. Um, can also block too. One thing that we've heard, not Nico, D'Amico, excuse me, Coach Ryan's, kind of harp on for the tight end being more active in the blocking game. Good hand placement, good knee bendability, um, everything you would want. And the perfect thing about him, guys, we know we're not going tight end round 1, 2, 3, 4. He will be available in the later rounds. It's kind of sound remind me of myself last year when I was talking about the GOAT late round pick. The GOAT is still on the roster too. But anyways, I suggest I believe he's a day 3 pick, and he should end up with us either in the 5th or the 6th. I'm hoping the 5th round. If we can't get another 4th or get back into the 4th, he should be the 4th on the 5th.
Yeah, I think you need to tweet that out because I'm just looking at his numbers right now, and I'm gonna go and look at his film. But the 94 receptions, 2024 at Ball State, 839 yards and 8 touchdowns. Then of course he transferred to U of H and 74 catches, 727 and 6 touchdowns. They have him listed as 6'6", 247.
It's not bad.
So no, that's not bad at all. I'm not going to take a look at him. 6'6", 247, vertical 36.45. Broad jump is in the green.
He's 6'7".
Yeah, with cleats and Hilton. Yeah, I get it, man. I don't know, man. I gotta go. I gotta go take a look at this guy.
You heard it here first. Texans on 3.
Yeah, exceptional frame at 6'7", create immediate red zone mismatch, and provides massive catching radius that defensive back simply cannot contest. Proven hands. Catcher who secured 94 receptions in 2024 despite heavy target volume, demonstrating reliable in clutch situations. And I read one more thing. Runs angry through contact after catches, consistently falling forward and breaking arm tackles, and surprising power for his lean build. Man, that sounds like somebody that you can motion out into the slot. 6'7" with a catch radius like that, and you got Nico 6'4", you got Higgins 6'4". Hey,
and you heard it here first.
I think you may found something there, man. I think you may have found something.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hey, well, okay, draft God. I see you working.
Hey, man. I don't do this shit, but I do this shit. Now, my next guy, and y'all know I gotta have somebody from Michigan every year. Why not? Space Age say step. Yeah, tight end from Stafford, he's cool. Sam Woosh. He's cool. If I had to compare him to somebody, it would be Space Age. Depending on how old you are, how long you watch football, you may catch this one or not. It was a tight end in Denver. I want to say around the time Kubiak was here, I believe. Either Kubiak was here and Jake Plummer was still around. But the tight end name is Jeb Putzer, number 86. When I watch Sam Woosh's film, that's immediately who he reminds me of. Good hands, catch the ball, big body. Very reliable guy. Doesn't excel at everything, but he does what he does well though. But yeah, my next guy, y'all know, man, go blue. Okay. Um, Klein, Marlon Klein. Yeah, he is a hell of a blocker. So Jeb the same way. Tell you. Go watch Jeb Pazier, bro. He was number 86. First highlight gonna come up was me catching the ball like this. Like this was fucking that was all on ESPN Sports Center back then. But Marlon Klein, man. He's ranked number 12 out of the tight ends, and all the tight ends going into the draft. Uh, Decent 40, 4.61. Very athletic. Production was down this year. Michigan had the number one quarterback in the nation, but that offense they was calling was backyard football offense. So the guys that should have put up numbers, that could have put up numbers, did not put up numbers, and he severely did not been was damaged by that. But coming into the league, man, he's going to be a hidden gem. I don't believe we'll get him. Seems like a guy that would be a perfect fit for a New England-esque type offense or a Detroit Lions-esque type offense. Or
You say you don't think we will?
no, not Klein.
Well, his drafts, I'm looking at. I like NFL Draft Buzz.
Yeah,
That's what I'm reading from. And right now, the two things that you got to look at is like, okay, there's a lot of tight ends coming out, so he
this is the
may
very good.
not be he might not be on the board of the NFL 30. And the NFL 30 is every team has 30 players that they can bring in, for a day for personal workouts. And, they just want to get with that player, get to know that person intimately inside of their stadium with their coaches, their facilities, and all that. He's probably not going to get too many of those, but they have him projected as a six rounder. So very much in reach, very much in reach. And they have him as a slot blocking tight end. I've never heard of that before. But what it tells me is uh, his speed and because he runs a 4.61. So at 248 pounds, that means he can, and he has a catch radius. He's 6'6".
He's actually
So
faster than that. He has his footballs the 40. He's one of those guys where the 40 speed. I was worried about how bad it was going to look, but in that offense, he was the fastest tight end next to Loveland, who just came out last year, went to Chicago.
really,
Yeah.
he was faster than the other tight ends that's coming out this year.
No, his football speed. Excuse me.
Um,
So he's been there. He's been there 4 years, right? He's a senior.
I haven't pulled him up on. I was
I'm,
looking
t-
to.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
Okay.
So, um, in Michigan's offense, they're a run heavy team, right? So everybody got the block. If you ain't blocking, you ain't playing. So in that offense, man, when opportunities would come to him, he's running past guys. Guys are not. If you don't have the right angle, he's gonna run by you, and he's not easy to bring down. I just don't think if I'm Nick and looking at our current tight end situation, if Tanner's there, if they're both, I'm pretty, they're both going to be there at the same time. But
Mhm.
I'm taking Tanner before I take him, even though he's a go blue guy. I love him. I just feel like the team he'll fit on and make an impact immediately would be either Chicago, Detroit, or New England.
Okay.
Those are the teams I feel like he will make an immediate impact on. Hell, if he go to Cleveland, he might start. But I'm
Well,
telling
this. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
well, wrapping it up, I'm telling you, like he's a damn good prospect. Like wherever he goes, he's gonna call a name out for himself. I guarantee it.
Okay. Well, it talks about his draft bio. I mean, they said his draft bio is pretty interesting. Born and raised in Cologne, Germany.
Mm-hmm.
Spent his first 2 years of high school playing American football for the Cologne Crocodiles before making the decision to uproot his entire life and move to the United States. So he played high school football in Germany. So here's another thing. You tapped
Good,
on
good.
somebody who has some untapped potential playing for a team like Michigan and still really learning the game and don't really know it. So that's another good find for you. He landed at Robin Gap Nakacheese School in Georgia ahead of his junior year, where he put together back-to-back productive seasons as a prep tight end, totaling 39 receptions, 601 yards, and 9 touchdowns. So, his path to the NFL is, yeah, pretty interesting. So I read this. Outstanding top end speed for his size. The kind that forces safeties to respect vertical threats and open up the intermediate windows underneath. You definitely need that because we don't have that on that team.
Did I just tell you?
Don't the only person that we have on this team that he can't stay healthy, and we don't know if he's good or not, and that's Brevin Jordan. Save all the comments about Brevin Jordan. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear what you got to say about Brevin. I'm just describing the reason why they're keeping a hold to Brevin Jordan because of what I just read. His speed can cause some mismatch. Okay, that's number one. Okay, long strider who eats up ground once he gets rolling, particularly dangerous on crossers and seam routes where he can build into his speed. Last thing is they got a whole bunch of other points, but I read this one. Strong hands and catch, and the catch point with real grip strength. He attacks the ball aggressively, plucks it away from defenders rather than body catch it. Hey, both of those tight ends look like they there in the sixth and the seventh. And the way our tight end room looks,
Yeah,
why not?
yeah.
I don't think it would happen, but
Nah.
our tight end room really there's nobody in that tight. Like Dalton Schultz had a very good year last year, but hey, you only gonna have some like Dalton contract, he has one more year on his contract.
Mm-hmm.
And after Dalton, that tight end room is very questionable. As a matter of fact, it's not questionable. We know the answers. They're not good. So when they say it's questionable, it's like, hey, man, can they or can't they? No, I don't think they're good. Brevin Jordan been hurt. Cage Stover been hurt. And really haven't been the physical specimen blocking that we thought that he could have been. And your guy, a goat. You say the
The
goat, right?
go,
A
the
goat.
go.
I mean, he can't even see the field yet. So, which
Yeah,
I hope he do. I mean, big size could be a good blocking tight end. It can be, on third down. Put him in situations where he can, block and release. So,
yeah. Um,
some pretty good finds, man.
it's tight end special. Hey man, draft gonna be working, man. It's crazy, I was telling y'all in our group chat, what the itinerary was, and I've had time, of course, so I just got to get out of my regular routine, seen my list of guys, went through the stats and all that, and went from the stats to watching the film. And it's crazy, like as you reading about him, I'm like, damn, I know, I know, and I know, and I know. Because I was telling you before you started reading, I told you his 40 time and his football speed is they night and day. You watch him
Yeah.
on film, man. And like I said, I watch Michigan like this is
You
faithfully.
know what? And I don't think a lot of people really understand that. That's why I don't get too caught up, too enthralled in uh pro
Highlights.
days and combines and
Oh yeah, nah. Well,
that boy Jaden Higgins ran I think like a 4.5, right? I think it was like a
yeah,
four.
4 power.
Hey, that boy there, he was
A
serving
low
up.
4 power.
He was serving up a full course meal to Gonzalez.
Yeah.
That boy football speed is different from that clock speed. And
You know
so
what too?
I think that a lot of times that I know you have to go to the combines, the pro days, and the clock, stop clock, and all that other stuff. Sometimes, man, you just got to put it on the tape,
That's
and
it.
you got to watch like that boy Michael Washington Jr. You put it on the tape, man, and it's like, okay, I don't even need to see the clock. I don't need to see what he runs in the 40. I
You know,
don't.
but see the combine. So as a fan, I don't work for the team yet, but as a fan, people watch the combine just to see who's who, right?
Right, I
I
get it.
I watch college football year round, so by the time combine comes, I know everybody that's gonna be there, not gonna be there, and I tell anybody if you think you know football, I can tell you those who really know football, the combine don't really matter. It's there for the guys to make their resume look better. You run a faster 40, you'll rise up. If you had a good showing on the bench, broad jump, the shuttle, the gauntlet, the catch and the pass, it's like it's there. You go there to help your draft stock rise. As for me, I just want to see the film, who you are on the field, because you have guys that go to the combine and be the complete workout warrior. They're
Mhm.
first in everything they do. You turn their film on, dude, you're a borderline special teamer. Like you just look good in shorts.
Yeah, because
So
you see them in the combine and they verticals, and just everything is just is really
yeah.
well. And then when you go and look at they film and you look at their stats, and it's like, okay, you wasn't even the best in your conference.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in big games, in conference games, bowl games, like you didn't show up. You know,
Right.
I want to see you show up. Like you can have a bad combine, but I could turn on your film. And the prime example is the guy, the defensive tackle from Texas Tech. I watched 0 minutes of the combine, but I heard this guy had a bad combine, and they were
The D
the D tackle. Yeah, I
on
can't
the
think of
field,
his name.
Lee. I want to say Lee Hunter or D
I
Hunter or Lee
think,
Hunter.
yeah, I think that's him.
I know it's Hunter. I think number one. I know number two, the nose tackle.
They were talking about his broad jump, his 40, his vertical, and I'm like, I just like the vertical jump only like first of all, that vertical only comes into effect is I guess they measuring your total athleticism. But if I'm 6'4" and my wingspan is 6'11", how high do you want me to jump to bat down the ball? So that vertical
Mhm.
jump and that 40 time absolutely means nothing to me with certain players,
Right.
offensive line and defensive line. Because when you playing in the trenches on the interior,
Yeah.
I mean, very seldom you're going to be able to exhibit a defensive tackle that ran say a 4.7 flat, and he's maybe one play out of the year that he's going to be able to go and catch a running back that I mean, go
Anybody.
and catch a running back, a slot receiver on a screenplay. And it's like, did you see the speed that defensive tackle and he chased him down? He probably only do that one time that year. I want to see the 3 cone drill, the first 10 yards, and when you're in the interior, I want to see your bench press. But I think what the NFL missed it, and they still missing it right now, is I wouldn't do the squat because I mean you'll have guys that's throwing unnecessary weight on there. I would do the leg press as part as the combine just for linemen because your lower body strength. Like if I'm a lineman and just say like my bench press was I did 225, like I think Hunter did it like maybe I think it was like I don't know, it was like 19 times, something like that. It was just very, very low. But what if his leg press was like number one and they put like let's say 550 on the leg press and he did that like exceedingly better than anybody else. That means his lower body strength, like his push off the ball, which on the offense and defensive side is very important. That's
Hmm.
one. That's one thing I don't understand why the NFL haven't incorporated that in their combines.
Well, for starters, I'm rubbing my knees right now. That should tell you. You want you got it because think about it. These guys putting on the extra weight just to show off for these companies because they are companies, and you blow your knee out or have an accident, you done shot yourself in the foot before
You
you
can
even
blow
actually.
your knee out running the 40. I think a shuffle drill in a 40, you're more apt to blow out your knee than a 550 leg press.
Excuse me, but you get what I'm saying though. The concern. Some guys want to show out
I haven't seen it, but have you ever seen a combine injury?
once years ago.
Okay,
Actually,
so we
no,
could kill that logic right there.
I
I
wouldn't
mean, I,
do it. I wouldn't add
yeah,
it. I mean, well, hold on. Injuries do occur a lot at combines. The most common one is hamstring, but something
okay,
like something severe like
right.
ACL or
Never seen that.
yeah. I want to say, damn, this is crazy. I had to been either in eighth grade middle school or ninth grade in high school. The last time I physically, like I saw a guy get hurt at the combine.
Mm,
Don't quote me though; it was a long time ago. But the guy he's speaking of, Hunter, put on the film. I watched his film too. Um, you only need him to do two things: clog up the middle and stop whoever coming through. That's it.
right.
I don't need him jumping high. I don't need him on special teams trying to block every field goal. If it happens, it happens. But you need him for one thing only. Well, two things: clog up the middle, stop the run. Anything you give me outside of that, pass rushing ability, sacking the quarterback, running the quarterback down, great. But guys like that, you only need them to do certain things. But like I say, put on the film. Great, he's a great athlete. Damn great athlete. He's a great player.
Yeah.
We are approaching that hour mark. I know you got things to do, and then I got things to do. So anything you want to add before we get up out of here?
I like your two tight end picks, and I talked about it on the last show.
Yep.
I didn't have much time to. Still haven't watched any film, but and he's probably going to be gone pretty early. Probably be out of the reach. But
Who?
ranked number two is Eli Stowers.
That's from Star
That's
Wars. From Vanderbilt.
Vanderbilt.
Yeah, Vanderbilt.
Yeah,
I'm not high on him at all.
six
Not high on him.
four, 4'5", 240 pounds. He's not a traditional tight end as far as blocking wise, but he
Strictly
can
receiver.
cause mismatch. So I
Mhm.
don't think the Texans would go that route. The other tight end that I looked at was the tight end from Cincinnati, Joe Royer.
Yeah.
6'5", 250. You know, same thing they said mismatch problem, natural receiving ability. Don't
Um,
know what his blocking skills are like, but they have him ranked number 8 right now. So
this is like I said earlier. This is probably one of the best tight end. This tight end draft class is better than the one last year. I expect every tight end that's drafted this year, half will start in 26. The other half will go into the season starting or become starters.
mm,
Phenomenal. Very, very phenomenal draft class for tight ends. Also, this is also a great draft class for safeties. And we'll talk about that on another show.
mhm.
But hey man,
One last
yeah,
thing, let me hit on some. Don't know if he's listening, but I was listening to the show, the spaces that you created, and the output. The people that showed up, they showed up pretty deep, man. So
oh, yeah.
that was a good
Put it up.
job. But I was listening to the AD. Larry and Stafford and you talking, and you made a comment um that every you have a feeling that every draft pick that Nick make this year is going to be they're going to make the team, they're going to make a contribution. Somehow you however you worded it.
They're going to be all hits.
Okay, all hits. Okay, so
Won't
when you
be,
made that point and Larry had some pushback,
yeah.
AD had to come back and say, "Well, who did Nick miss on last year?" And
Yeah.
injury is not a miss. A miss is your ineptitude of not being able to produce because of the talent that I thought you had.
Right.
So when you put it like that, so if Nick hit on the draft last year, and if Nick hits on the draft this year, besides offensive line, what is this great fascination? And this is not a question for us to answer right now, but just something to throw out into the universe. I think the go-to phrase right now is to fire Nick. But when I
Yeah.
look at his overall record, when I look at that whole entire defense, people look at D'Amico Ryan and say, "Hey, man, D'Amico, this is a D'Amico guy. D'Amico does this and does that." At the end of the day, whether people believe it or not, Nick drafted those people.
Yep.
That's a part of his resume. You can't because you don't like the guy. You can't take that off his resume.
Right.
So if he hit last year, like you said, and AD, spoke on like who did he miss, and you really couldn't say who he missed. If what you say is true this year, then what are we doing? Like it would have to be a catastrophe of offseason offensive lineman and the draft once again. They'll get him fired. Other than that, man, we was I'm not going to go there about the quarterback and Super Bowl. So we can just go on. I'll be on another 45 minutes, man. So that's all I wanted to point out, man.
I I would say this. That conversation. Both Jaden's the DBs. Smith, the cornerback, tore his knee. He played, but he got hurt twice. Reed, same thing, with the same injury when he came back. Um, we are going to sign some linemen. I wish people really would stop pushing this narrative on trying to get Trent Williams here. The only way I would entertain Trent Williams is he's a free agent.
Mhm.
I'm not trading for him. I'm not jeopardizing my draft capital, nor am I paying that big of the ticket. It's not my money to pay, but I just wouldn't do it. Logically, doesn't make any sense. Another observation, real quick. Depending on who we sign in free agency, whether it's a guard, tackle, or center, we're going to. I can see Big E potentially moving to the right, depending on who they sign. Well, depending on who they sign and draft. If you sign the tackle and guard from Cleveland, Big E would be perfectly fine at left tackle because you're
Mhm.
gonna have the guy. You're gonna have two starters right there. And if you draft most people, I forget the names off the rip, but most tackles they have mocked to us, especially the guy from Utah. He's a natural left tackle. If you end up drafting him, I wouldn't force him to learn right tackle because he's a naturally left tackle. But that's another conversation. But as far as this draft go, once free agency starts in, next week, I want to say Tuesday on the 10th, and the 11th is official day. Let's see how who he signs, who he brings in. Once he does that, I further know how exactly we're going to approach the draft. And depending on how good our free agency goes, we may trade out the first round again if the guy that Nick wants is not there and he feels as if he can get them uh, later on in the draft.
Right. Yeah.
But anyways, everybody that showed up to the bull ring, man. Shout out to my boy Nitty, Dr. Payton. Those guys are busy, but we still made it through for you guys tonight. Normally I go through the whole shout outs and everybody, man, but I gotta get up in about 3.5 hours before I gotta go serve the public.
Mm.
So with that being said, shout out to everybody that pulled up tonight, man. I will be doing pull up spaces tomorrow, more than likely. Um, around what time I don't know. Depends on when I get a break at work. But I'm definitely gonna do a pull up tomorrow. What's tomorrow? Thursday. I'm gonna start doing pull ups every day after the pod. So we do the show on Wednesdays and Saturdays. So I will try to do it on the Thursday, sometimes the Tuesdays. Tuesdays be special, but Tuesday, Thursdays, and sometimes on Sunday. So Saturday night, rather. But that's still in development. So other than that, man, Kill, anything else you want to say to the people before we get up out of here?
Nah, man. Thank y'all for tuning in and thank you for participating in the Bull Ring. We appreciate you.
Man, most definitely, man. Without y'all, this show does not go. Much love to everybody that showed up, man. Much love y'all, and we will see y'all Saturday around the same time, if not earlier. Until then, peace.
Salute.